See, I live by a motto, I go to jail in jail. But that motto only activated discretionary wise. So I just didn't off the wall, because that made me a damn fool. And going to jail in jail means you'll never go home, you'll die in jail.
Prison Stories 101, we back with another one, man. We got an epic interview about to go down, man. I got my boy Kane in the building, man. How's everything going?
Oh, it's going good, bro.
All right, definitely, man. If you don't mind, reintroduce yourself and tell them how much time you've done, man.
Yeah, I'm Kane, man. I done did over 18 years locked up straight in Texas.
Yeah. As we were speaking off camera, I just want to get right into it. You were speaking on the Texas penal system, how it differs from, let's say, LA, New York. And you were kind of going into some details. Did you ever serve any time outside of Texas in any other units?
Nah, I never served no time outside of Texas. Everything we did down here.
From what you know, maybe from other inmates you might have spoke to or people that got transferred or did other time, what is the main difference between Texas, the way they run their penal system, versus like a New York or an LA or anything of that nature?
Well, each state has their own set of codes and stipulations that they go by. See, in Texas, a first degree murder charge might run you 5 to 89, no way around it. In New York, California, it may be a slightly different. You know what I'm saying? They might shoot you straight to the moon. So when it comes to each state, personally, me not doing time in that state, I couldn't speak on it. But judging by the prison system, because you have inmates who navigate around, like somebody been doing time in California, they get locked up in Texas, they run it down to you on how it go, and then they can show you hands-on that what they saying is fact, because they're a victim of what they talking about when it comes to the system.
Definitely. As far as units you served on, if you don't mind, letting us know what all units that you served on out here in Texas.
In Texas, I done been on Robinson, Cofield, Telford, Ferguson, Darrington, Conley unit. I done hit quite a few of them, man. I never stayed put, man. I done hit quite a few of them. Super Sig, Pulaski unit where Death Row at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I discharged from Pulaski unit.
Oh, man.
And the saddest thing about that, man, is somebody on death row to society, that's somebody not to be fucked with, right? But when you get locked up, see, I live by a motto, I go to jail in jail. But that motto only activated discretionary wise. So I just didn't off the wall, because that made me a damn fool. And going to jail in jail means you'll never go home, you'll die in jail. But I still had that theology pushing me. But when you look at people that's on death row, a lot of them get behind bars, and what they was in the streets and what the judge described them as, that's not the real them. See, when you snatch them away from that element and you take everything from them and they behind that door, it could be an officer walk by and say, I will write to a disciplinary case if you don't shave, if you don't take that picture off the wall. Now, if I ain't mistaken, man, you're on death row. Them writing a case for you not shaving, what the fuck that's gonna do? But you got these people who will break down and submit. But then that same officer will leave 12 building where death row at on Pulaski unit, come to 8 building or 7 building where closed custody, medium custody at, and they run into Mr. Go to jail in jail. Hey, get off the line or we gonna write you a case. You ain't gonna be on the rec yard. Why you got that beard on your face? And I straight tell them, man, fuck you. You don't get your bitch ass on somewhere. And they won't do a goddamn thing and keep on walking. Right. See what I'm saying? So I never understood how people break down,
Yeah, what is the punishment for someone on death row? How does that work as far as how do you punish someone that's already...
It's the same as any other inmate. If they write me a case and they say we're gonna put you on 45 days restriction for commissary, they do the same thing for them. But what I'm referring to is the psychology behind it. You know what I'm saying? You got nothing to lose, man. These people sentence you to death, so how do any of that even matter to you?
If you don't mind, what's your take on the death penalty and death row? What's your take on it personally?
My take on the death penalty and death row, if I didn't see you, and when I say see you, I mean know you. if I didn't understand how you raised up, if I didn't understand the options you had, the options you didn't have, if I wasn't at the moment you did what you did and thought about doing what you was doing, I'm not qualified to judge you and say you should die. I didn't witness none of that. So for me to be sitting in my house, reading my Bible, watching TV, having sex, smoking weed, whatever I'm doing, counting money, and somebody say, you being subpoenaed to jury duty and it's a death row, it's a death penalty case, and I'm supposed to decide whether somebody live or die, say, man, nobody should be doing that. Because for one, I can vote with 11 other people, but do that mean I'm not gonna go back home, cheat on my wife? I'm not gonna go back home, get drunk? I'm not gonna go back home and snort powder? I mean, if we looking under God's eye, what make me better than the next person? When do I get the chance to say what you is and what you deserve, but then I'm not standing in front of the same people? Because they say you should die because you killed somebody. Okay, well, these people might feel I should die because I was, what's one of them? They thought I was looking at a 17-year-old girl. She under the speed limit. And all I did was look this way, didn't know how old she was. I saw ass. They think I should die because of that. But who's to say, man? But now, don't get me wrong. Some people do need to be took off the streets. I will agree to that. And when it comes to the youth, I have an issue with the youth and guns. Because the way we grew up, you had to know how to fight. When you go to the fair in Dallas, you had to fight for that fair ticket. But see, that's old shit. Now they get their fair ticket. They ain't got to worry about walking home from school, who gonna take it from you. They ain't got to worry about that. Because the people have already said no more bullying. But this the thing about bullying that people don't understand. Bullies is what make character. When somebody's picking on you, you learn from hands-on how much you can take. You learn when it's time to tell somebody to get the fuck away from you. So that's not me saying I promote bullying, but that's just me keeping it real. A lot of elements that they removing is what's making these kids soft today. But in swap out the bullying, you introduce them to the homosexuals.
Just a percentage-wise, if you don't mind, how many inmates in general in each unit would you say have a bully mentality?
In 95 or 96, I would say 70% of them would have a bully mentality.
That's pretty high.
Because you got to sleep with one eye open. And no matter how many fights you have, no matter how many fights you win, it's always somebody hoping you lose. And it's always somebody that's going to run into you who you can't beat. So somebody's up here is always trying to be the top dog. And like the Bible says, so a man thinking that he is. So with that bully perspective in prison, it's not even necessarily one that they get there and say, oh, this is what I'm going to do. No, you become a product of your environment. You see what worked for the first 10. You see what didn't work for the last 5. So you went with the popular opinion and you joined the crusade.